Finally, let's plot the result. I'll create a new figure window. And this time we're going to use IMShow, and what we're going to show is the object matrix. Only those cells that are equal to some value. We'll start out by saying object matrix equal to 1. When we run this code in figure 5, we should see a black and white image where the only light pixels are the ones that represent the object that is labeled as object number 1. Or we could change this to be 2 and see only those pixels that represent object number 2. We can also figure out how many different objects have been identified by our process. If we go to the Matlab command window, we can type in max object matrix, and it tells us how many different objects in the field of view have been labeled. To test this code, try setting up the field of view of your camera so that it has the clear view of only a couple of different objects. Then run the code and look at the black and white images. You want to have a black and white image where the different objects in the field of view show up as either dark or light objects separated from one another. One way you can improve your results is by changing the grayscale conversion and by changing the threshold that we used in the conversion to black and white. For example, I could change this 120 threshold to be something more like 200, and I would get more dark pixels and fewer light pixels. Or I could reduce the threshold in order to get more light pixels and fewer dark pixels. I could also change which of the colors I'm using in the black and white image. We can use the black and white image based on red, or we could change this and use the black and white image based on green, or the image based on blue. We could also change the number of objects in the field of view by, instead of having red be simply the first layer of frame, we can also create a variable that is red only. Which is equal to red minus blue minus green. And we could use red only in the black and white conversion down here instead of just the red image. And that will also change our black and white image and our ability to detect the different objects. Play around with the different values and see if you can get a good result of an image segmentation that identifies different images and appropriately labels the objects.